All right, a warranty. What does a warranty do?
Guarantees, if you break it, they'll
Replaces or repairs it
Yeah.
for nothing. Now, most items come with a manufacturer's warranty for like a short time period, but you can buy an extended warranty. When should you buy the extended warranty? Is there a for sure
No, you gotta guess.
answer?
You gotta guess.
I usually buy car warranties because I don't want to be making a payment and pay for repairs. My roommate, who's a car guy, told me I have to ask him the amounts again. Basically, this isn't the right amount, but basically, the dealership made like $1,500 if they sold the warranty, or it cost $1,500. They would try to sell it for $2,500. If they don't sell it for $2,500, they sell it at $18 a month or $20 a month. It'll add this much to your payment. And the extra money there is shared by the person doing the financing, the guy working for the dealership, and the dealership. So they make money selling the warranties. He said, go in there and say, you know, you're making a commission. I won't give you $2,500 for this. I'll give you $2,000 for it. That way, I save some money. You make some money. And if they don't take it, just walk away. Just say, okay, I won't buy the warranty. You can always buy the warranty on a car up until the manufacturer's warranty runs out. So you can go to any dealership and buy the warranty, but it's gonna be different numbers now. But the car warranty I always bought. Appliances, TVs, computers, washing machine. If you buy the warranty, you're hoping something goes wrong. If you don't buy the warranty and something goes wrong, you're mad and you wish you bought the warranty. So I really can't tell you when our washing machine went out, our refrigerator is making weird noises. And it's like 6, 7 years old now. I keep thinking it's a brand new house. We've been there a long time. Cole's a senior. So it's been 6 years since he was there. But I can't tell you when to buy the warranty. If you can afford it, it's probably not a bad idea.
I know the school warranties are really good.
What is it?
Like any school thing, like you have to borrow a laptop or something.
Oh, yeah.
I realize that
Yes.
is a good idea.
Yes.
The newer microwaves and junk like that is always nice. We have one microwave that my mom and dad had when they first moved here from Waco, and that thing still works.
I had one that was a Amanda radar range, which was one of the first ones made in the 60s. And I had that when me and little Christy got married. And the one we bought with the house messed up and doesn't work 2 years ago. I still have it. When we get fixed, we're gonna fix it. All right, when you're thinking of somewhere to live,
Good.
let's say next year or the next couple of years, you try to find a place to live. Let's say you work here, you go to school here, and there's a place here, a place here, a place here, and a place here. Let's say this one is $650, this one is $750, this one's $700, and this one is $800, all bills paid. Could you just look at the price and say that's the best place to live? What would you have to think about? Am I going to be at school more? Am I going to be at work more? What's the traffic like? There's all kinds of factors you gotta put into this. This might be the best deal if you spend equal time here. This could be a good deal if you spend most of the time here. This could be a good deal if you spend most of your time here. Now, all bills paid. Y'all ever heard of all bills paid? What do you think it means? Your water, electric, that kind of stuff is covered. Yes. Probably for the length of your lease. If I've never lived in all bills paid, could you set the air conditioner where you wanted? Could you take hour-long showers? No. I'm sure there's either a limit, or they're in charge of the electricity, and or they give you so much if you go over, you gotta pay. That would be the situation. But it's possible that could be the best deal.
So they bundle that in with the payment?
I'm sure that it's tied in. They're not losing money on it. But there's
Yeah,
probably,
they're never gonna lose money.
there's either a limit on it or there's,
Like a pad.
or they're in charge of it. They control how much gets used with something.
But even then, it's almost the same price, so that just come out of the quality of stuff.
But you can't just look at the price. You would want to look at all kinds of factors: travel, traffic, how much time you spend at each place, how easy is it to get back and forth, all that kind of stuff. All right, let's look at this. Most basic apartments are either 2-story or 3-story. Now, most people would want to live on the first floor. And the reason for that is they don't want to carry their stuff up and down stairs. That's not why I want to stay in the first floor. I would want to stay here or here because they're cooler. How much insulation gets put into apartments? The bare minimum. They're not gonna put extra in there. And heat rises. So this one's gonna be the coolest. It stays in the shade. Yes, you do have to hear stuff, people walking, people doing jazzercise above you, and whatever else. If you're living in Laramie, Wyoming, from November to March, that might be a good place to live. Why would that be?
Because heat rises.
Heat rises, the sun's gonna hit it all day, and when it's -20, that helps your heating bill. Because if you're in an apartment, your air conditioner or heater's running all the time because there's no insulation. So
So basically, you just want like a middle floor.
you want whatever. Well, then you are having to deal with noise and stuff. I mean, it depends. Depends on what you're looking for. Depends on where you're at. Do you ever want to buy a couch with a bed in it? No, because they're not comfortable. Number one,
You don't really use it.
they're heavy as all get out. And whenever you move it, what's going to happen? It's going to fall apart, and big, huge pain in the butt. So don't ever buy the couch with the bed in it. Yes.
This is related to the AC stuff.
Yes.
It's very random though. I know why cruise ships are always painted white. It's so they reflect the
Is
most
it
light
cool?
AC colors.
Yeah. That makes sense.
This is very random.
There is, I saw a commercial the other day. I think the Disney boat
He wants the double.
is
decker.
black.
Yeah.
The Disney one is, because I remember looking at the boat, like the boat part.
Oh, the boat
The
part.
boat part.
Usually they're red because it's
Oh, really?
made to take rust off. Like on submarines and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The red stuff is made to.
Oh, because they usually, you can see it on ships, if you're at the coast, you'll see the ships that don't have anything on it, they'll have about this
Yeah.
much red sticking out of the
Right.
water.
Right.
But then when they're loaded down, you won't see anything, you'll see the black, and they're marked for the boat, for the tugboats and stuff.
Little Christy wants to go on a cruise someday. We haven't because they cost money, and I've never wanted to go on a cruise because
I don't think I do.
I don't want to feel trapped.
Yeah.
But it does sound good.
Like
I'm
you
going
can't
on one
leave.
soon, and I've never been on.
I don't like people, and I
I
don't want to be stuck on this boat and not. At least if I want to trip somewhere, I can go somewhere.
Yeah, it's like if you're
I can't.
in a hotel on the water, you just go to the beach.
They are actually really fun.
Are they?
What if you have a family?
If they have a weight, do they have a good weight room? Do they have a weight room?
Yes, they do.
Is it just this stuff? Or do they actually have?
There was actually like dumbbells and stuff.
It's
like,
so
and they have like
big, there's no
ellipticals
way.
and like treadmills and bicycles and everything.
It's called the Olympic
Cruises are bigger than like.
It was actually.
I want to see
My
how
God.
military shit.
My God.
see the beach and the ocean.
All right, brand name and generic. Brand name products is the famous Tylenol, Kleenex, bless you. That's a brand name. And I'm gonna misspell it. I think I'm misspelling both of them. Kleenex? No, there's an N in there somewhere. And then generic, I think Tylenol is is it acetaminophen or ibuprofen?
I don't think it's No, it's a seed.
I'll just do that. Acetaminophen and Kleenex. You can just get off-brand. Like this is Kleenex. So we got actual Kleenex. And then let's say great value.
Yeah. How much was that for?
Now, what's brand name always gonna be?
More expensive.
More expensive. Could it be better?
Yes.
Possibly.
Could be. It could be. This Tylenol is not better than acetaminophen. It's the same chemical compound. I use fake Excedrin when I do leg days. There has been times I bought the real Excedrin because there wasn't the fake Excedrin. And the real Excedrin was like $7 a bottle. The fake Excedrin was like $3.23. But when I took the real Excedrin, I remember thinking, even though I know, I remember thinking, whoa, this is actual Excedrin. And in my mind, I think it felt different.
Yeah.
Just because wow, this is that name.
I mean,
Means something.
because we were talking to this lady the other day, that there was something that they used for like chocolate fish, like in fish tanks. It was the same chemical, and she was giving it to her horses. Because you didn't have to go to a vet. It was way cheaper if you could buy it at any pet store.
Huh.
I don't remember what it was.
Huh.
It's just ridiculous.
Now, when it gets to food, and we're gonna do this when we do our grocery thing, you're gonna have two lists, and I explain this every year, but it always gets messed up. We're gonna have a brand name list and a generic list. Not everything has a generic, like meat is not like just meat. It's not generic or brand name, it's just meat. So on both lists, you would have the meat. If the brand name list has 25 things, how many things would be on the generic list? 25. It's gonna be the same stuff. If there's not a generic, you just put
The same.
what it is. As much generic stuff as you can. And the whole purpose of that is to see the difference, how much you possibly can save if you got generic stuff as opposed to brand name stuff. Some generic stuff I think is better. It's just a personal preference thing. Some things
Some of
aren't.
it's like, you're so minuscule in ways you can't even tell.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
a lot of things you can't tell, but like tea bags and stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff I can really.
There you go.
Anything with sugar in it. You really tell.
Red Belly Pop Tarts? No.
Oh, what was that? Mustard. Generic mustard is mustard.
Make it the exact same one.
And French's might taste different, but the other one's fine. So might as well buy this for $1 instead of $2.25. All right. What's up?
I'm not really big on mustard. It's too sour.
The older I've gotten, the more I like mustard because it is good for you. It's not bad for you. And Whataburger taught me to eat it on a hamburger.
Yes.
I say if I-
What else is
Without having mustard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not mustard gets. Now let's do this here.
Fire.
Do you do the spicy mustard?
No,
Yeah,
I don't like spicy mustard.
Feels fire.
The spicy ketchup.
Spicy ketchup.
Spicy ketchup.
Just get Chick-fil-A.
Sorry, mine, that used to regular ketchup.
Okay, we're making spaghetti. What's this?
Noodles.
What is it?
Alfredo.
What?
Alfredo.
No,
Oh.
it's spaghetti sauce.
Yes.
I thought the little one was
Prego.
Prego.
This is Prego. Which is this one?
Everybody's case sauce.
Ragu.
I was about to say that.
Okay. Can we just look at this and tell which one has more? Yes, but we really can't tell.
Gotta be glad.
The price is going to be different, but we can't tell which one's the best. Now you're always going to buy Prego because you want to eat something good. But at the bottom, there's going to be a little tag.
Something like cost per ounce.
Yeah. The per unit cost for this is 6.7 cents, like per ounce. The per unit cost for this is 7.2 cents. So really, which one's cheaper? This one's cheaper. I'm still buying this. But if the per unit cost is what really shows you how, if you can't tell by looking and can't tell by the price, this tells you which one's the better deal. What's that?
Which one's the great value?
They have it. They have it, but then they'll usually, I don't know which one, what that one looks like. Because I'm not buying Great Value spaghetti sauce. I'm buying Prego.
It's like Great Value tomato paste or something.
I can always tell when
But you can make it.
when we're getting to the end of the month or
Make
when
something with it.
Yeah.
or when we're running low, because Christy will buy Hunt's tomato, like tomatoes, and I'm like, what's wrong, Christy? Is it gotten that bad that we have to eat this? Is it? But that per unit cost is there on the little tag, per ounce, per whatever. It really, you can tell the real value there.
see a product like just change even looking at the size of its own. Like if it's the same brand, you can just look at the size and see like the percent of the drive.
Now, the comparison shopping, what's comparison shopping?
If I compare prices of the two items.
You maybe look at Ace Hardware, Lowe's, Home Depot, just to see what the best value. Hopefully getting
Something cheaper.
the best value. When is comparison shopping not good?
You have to drive to look for
If it's costing you more than you're saving. Because you can look at the computer, but I like to see it. You know, I'll look at the computer for price and kind of compare. But then I go, if I'm gonna buy it, I don't wanna order it. I wanna go look at it. Because I wanna see, because sometimes you're not,
Might be like damage or something.
you gotta see it. I wanna see it and see what, because
it. Don't order lumber.
no, don't do that. Don't do that. Now I put bait and switch in your feet. If you're buying, usually, especially a big item, right, and you get there and they try to talk you into something else, or they try to talk you into buying something you don't want to buy, or if the price isn't right, I put your feet. What's your feet? That is that's your best
Undo.
tool.
Walking.
Walk away. And walking away sometimes gives you the upper hand, because they know if you walk away, they ain't selling it. And they might work with you more if you just walk away. Now, with the car, you gotta be able to drive up there in your piece of crap, sit in that cool car and smell the new car smell, and then walk away and get back in your piece of crap. That is hard to do sometimes, but that is very effective. And they know it's hard to do, and so they really kind of think they got you. Because very few people will walk all the way out. And then when they get close to the car, they see it, they're like, oh no.
I'll talk around.
Anyway, just remember that. That's your biggest, what's that?
Did you do that?
I did that, and I won. Seeing the guy with the tie doing this is a great, oh, I'm so happy. Yes. Yeah, that's what Colt said. What's he doing? I said, that means we won, Colt. It means we won. All right, convenience stores, timeout. What's great about timeout?
Right there.
It's fast.
It's, you can go right there. Now, before Dollar General, we were dependent on timeout. And I told you a story a long time ago, little Christy wanted me to get baking powder. She said, go down to timeout and get baking powder. I said, there's no baking powder at timeout. She said, yes, they do. They had it. They had it. It was expensive, but they had it. Now, why did let's say it was $4.95, and at Walmart it's $2.50. Why did I go ahead and buy it? I didn't want to drive to Decatur and drive back. So I wanted to go, I wanted it fast. I was willing to pay for the convenience of getting it right here. So it is expensive because you're paying for the convenience, but also, let's say Tide. They have Tide at timeout. You got Walmart and you got timeout. Jake, do you know, if I say timeout, you know what I'm talking about? It has Paradise Market outside. It's not Paradise Market, it's timeout. Good, Lundy. You got
I figured that out.
yes, you figured that out. When I got here, it was timeout. Then it caught on fire. And they,
Yeah, I
Was it caught on fire? I don't remember
I
that.
didn't know.
Well, it was y'all, before y'all were born, probably.
Oh.
Y'all, it was like,
It says Paradise Market as long as I've been here, but
Yeah.
I've never heard anything.
No, I remember it before it said Paradise Market, it just didn't have anything.
Yeah,
It was just
that's what my parents
somehow.
wanted. That's what
I just call all of them timeout because like you're going in.
how much Tide does Walmart Incorporated order?
A lot.
Millions of boxes. Okay, so they order millions.
Probably very cheap.
How much Tide does Timeout order?
No.
Maybe 5 a year.
5 years.
Okay. So when Walmart calls Tide, or whatever the company's called, and says, we want to order some Tide, what do they get? They get a discount. So their per unit cost is lower. Are they giving Timeout a discount?
No.
No. So their price includes full price. Walmart's price does not include full price because they buy in bulk. All right, Sam's and Costco. We've gone to Sam's and Costco some, but it's a long ways off from here, so it's a hassle to do it. What's great about Sam's and Costco? You know, yeah, you buy more, it's cheaper per unit. And you can buy larger amounts
Free stamps.
or weird amounts.
Yeah.
It's not always huge, sometimes it's just a weird amount sometimes. Like the bottles aren't shaped the same, or it's not really, like if you buy Prego, it might be too much for one supper, but
You gotta buy those little big
Pomegranate
stuff.
juice, the
Okay.
pomegranate juice.
yeah,
that's-
I've seen that, yeah. Good, you got one?
Something else.
Like, it's like barely, it's like way too much for one night, and then you gotta get another one, so you can have like 3
Yes.
nights worth.
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
wind up with the sitting there.
Sam's and Costco is great if you're gonna use what you get.
I like free stamps.
Family of 4, pretty good. If you're single, shopping at Sam's, you wouldn't want to get everything at Sam's because it probably would go out before you use it. So as long as you would use it, it's worth it. You wouldn't want to buy stuff from Sam's and have to throw half of it out because it's too much. There's a Seinfeld one time where Kramer bought all this stuff at like Costco, and he had these huge industrial sized things of raviolis. You know, like just not like SpaghettiOs, but like a huge, and he couldn't eat it all, and so he was feeding it to it because he had a horse that was pulling a. Anyway,
Tina?
Rusty.
Oh.
He fed it to the Rusty, and he was doing the little rides through New York, and the horse kept farting, and they were back there going, oh, because he ate the raviolis. Rusty. All right, if you're buying something, let's say you're buying a shirt, and the Nike shirt is twice as expensive as this off-brand shirt. Now, I'm not saying I'm not promoting Nike or anything. Is it possible the Nike shirt is made better than the off-brand shirt and maybe will last longer?
Yeah.
So buying this shirt, maybe this shirt will last 10 years. I have some shirts that have lasted a long time and they don't look like they're old. I have some other shirts that I wear 4 or 5 times, it's like they're almost ruined. So even though this was cheaper, it really didn't save me any money because I gotta buy another one. So the durability of an object might make you willing to be paid more for it. It's gonna last a long time, you're probably willing to pay extra for it. And you're really kind of saving money, maybe. And if you gotta mess with something to keep it going, you might be less likely to buy it. You have to do a lot to maintain it. I've never owned a diesel. I sure wish I had one this summer when we were hauling that trailer down for coal. But I haven't needed a diesel a whole lot, so I've never bought a diesel. And I know one of the reasons I've never bought a diesel is because my best friend in high school bought a Volkswagen Jetta. He got a football scholarship, and so
Yes.
his parents had saved a little money for college, and they bought him a car instead because he had the football scholarship.
Get the diesel.
He bought the Volkswagen Jetta. It was a diesel.
I saw it rolling coal on the highway yesterday, it's hilarious.
Every time we got gas, I don't know if this is every diesel, I'm sure it's not. He had to open the hood, get the water filter, something filtered the diesel. He had to pour that out, change that out every time he got. It was just a huge hassle for him to get gas. I said,
That's just Volkswagen.
okay.
Yeah.
I never want to get this ever because I didn't want to mess with that.
The only time you really have to mess with it is if you like run out of diesel and you have to go in and like pump it back in.
This one, I guess back then he had to do it every time.
I mean, the engine's great, just the cars, they just break in weird
Right.
ways.
It always seemed cheap.
Volkswagen.
Yeah. It's just
Well,
If you put those engines in other cars, I mean, that was like the same thing that was in those, in the Beatles,
Yeah.
before, when those were still, when those
Yeah.
first came out, they were great. And they changed something.
Volkswagen was seemed nice to me.
Yeah.
The new ones, you said they're not bad.
I think it just depends on kind of
They just all, they break, that's weird ways.
Now, sometime in the next few years, you will sign a lease. When you sign a lease, a majority of them are 12-month leases. Sometimes there's 18-month leases, sometimes there might be 6-month leases. there might even be 24-month leases. Which of those might be the best to do?
Probably 12 or 6.
Then the
12 or
house-
6?
What am I saying?
If you do the 6, and you figure out, I hate this place, or I'm gonna have to move anyway, you just know you're gonna be in trouble if you don't live out the lease. You can do it, but it's gonna cost you your deposit, it might cost you a bad review on the next place you're renting. Here and here, I'd be really leery of that, because now you're kind of stuck for that amount of time. And when you sign a lease, make sure you read it and see what the landlord's responsibilities are.
So if you sign a bigger lease, is it like cheaper or something?
I don't know, possibly, but I've heard of these before, but really the only leases I've ever signed is 12-month leases. But just make sure when you sign it, you understand what you are responsible for, you understand what the landlord's responsible for, and just really understand it before. The dumbest thing I've done in my life, that's a big statement, but I still stand by it. The dumbest thing I ever did in my life, I was in college and I signed a lease on a house and I never lived there. Some other guys moved in and I lived somewhere else and nobody ever did anything, and you know, if they could have destroyed the house and I'm in trouble, or not made the payment and I'm in trouble. I mean, it's so stupid, but.
So you're not responsible for this?
Because I signed the lease and then never lived there. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna live over here, guys. Okay, see ya. You know, have fun.
Like paid and all that, you just left and went
Yeah,
somewhere else?
I signed it in May, and then some other guy said, hey, live with us. Well, okay, so I went there. And my name was on the lease over here.
So you just had someone else paying?
Somebody else lived and paid for it, yeah. But they didn't have, really, legally, they didn't have to. They didn't have to. It was on me.
They could have just left.
There's actually good people on
Oh, I'll tell you another dumb thing I did. I had a Discover card in college, and my receiver went out. Remember I told you about the stereos? The receiver was the main part of the stereo. It's what ran everything, and it went out. And I can't live without a receiver. You have to have a receiver. Nothing else works. You have speakers, you have the equalizer, you have the tape deck, CD player. Nothing works without the receiver. So me and Lane took my Discover card, went to McDuff's where I bought the TV that got me in trouble. Took my Discover card and bought this $500 receiver that had a remote. Oh, I told you about Lane's remote. I now had a remote. And I bought it, and then I never got a bill. Have they said it yet? Oh, they're not saying it because of, yeah.
Yes, sir. Can I go get us some?
Sure. Well, I never got a bill, and I never thought about it.
For what?
For this receiver I bought in college with the credit card. Well, I finally got a letter in the mail. Oh, that's what it was. I'd signed the lease on the house, and they thought that was my address. So they were sending the bills there, and my friends weren't giving me the bills. So for 6 months, I didn't pay. And they said, Mr. Wilder, you have not made this payment. You have paid the. So I had to go get a loan from the school for $500 and pay it off, and then pay the school off. But that lease, that's what it came down to. I had signed the lease, that's where the bill was going to.
I didn't realize they changed the dress that fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Wait, so how'd you get $500 from the school?
That our school had this loan thing where you could go and apply for a loan. It was a short term. I pay $100 a month. But yeah, that idiot.
It's bad with the mail because like we don't really have a mailbox. That's
Right.
good just where we live. So that you know, like people think a little smarter when they won't send anything to a PO box
Right.
for some reason.
Yes.
But it's like I don't want to put my grandma's address because then it's all the way in Decatur. You know, so they just our mailbox wasn't even there half the time.
Okay.
It blew off in the wind and it was like laying in the ditch because it was only about this house.
Yes.
There's some trash people built out there. They
I had
keep
to
sending
read
stuff
the
on that.
orders.
I really don't know what's good, though, I've never good.
Well, and ours is like, I'm surprised it hasn't gotten just slaughtered yet by some kid driving off the side of the road, because it's right there on the on ramp.
All right, insurance rates. Insurance rates are tied to, let's say, car insurance. What you are, what you drive, and where you are. What you are means your age, your social status, I mean, if you're married or not, okay? They determine insurance rates based on what you cost them. So if you're 18 and you drive a red Dodge truck and you live in Wise County, you're gonna pay this amount in insurance because red vehicles, red trucks driven by this age boy or this age girl living in this county cost this company this much. So that's what your insurance rates are based on. When you turn 25, now it might have changed. When you get married, your insurance rates change because married people cost them less than unmarried people. Unmarried people tend to act dumber than married people. Maybe not. I know a lot of married people act stupid, but they don't look at, we don't like guys. They just look at how much it costs them. So how much they pay out to that, your age group and your social group and your vehicle group and what county you live in, that's what the rates are based on. If you move counties, your insurance rates change. So living in Wise County, there might be more or less wrecks than in Taylor County. It might be less, it might be more, I don't know. So, but I do know when getting married is not a reason. No, insurance rates are not a reason to get married, but your insurance rates will change. Or you go 25.
Yeah, it still says it is 25.
25
We're
or
also when you get married.
yeah, because also get married, you save money.
Yeah.
I did get married and we had, well, Christy would bring food home from Walmart. She worked at Walmart and she had another one. So I paid the rent.
Work at Walmart too.
I had the rent paid. I had everything covered. She just brought groceries like, yes, hot babe and food. Deal. I got a good deal out of this. Good enough. We'll finish this later. Go rest. Y'all go ahead.